Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Hello, everyone. Namaste and welcome. I am Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Today, I have the honor of welcoming Pamela Downes to Greetings from the Ashram. Pamela is the host of Live the Call podcast. She is a trance channeler and founder of Spirit Calling, an online spiritual community. So without further ado, let's welcome Pamela to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Bob.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It's been a while since we chatted. I've been excited to have you on the show. You're doing amazing work, and I love what you're doing. It's pretty inspirational. So,
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah, I like to get started like all my guests, and we get into the how. How did you get to where we are now?
I have no idea how I got to where I am today. That's the big question, right? It's like, I always say that, is this what I said I wanted to be when I grew up? No, this was like the furthest thing from my mind, right? Through the series of many choices, many experiences, and ultimately listening to and tuning in and being in alignment with my higher self, my spirit guides, and my soul's mission, I was able to uncover this in this lifetime. And, I think it's pretty cool to be able to reconnect with myself from other lifetimes past to see the work that I've done. And now I get to do it again in this lifetime. So it's a really cool perspective. Once you have it, once you see it, once you get there,
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point where I can see my past lives, although I know that I've had some, and I'm involved with a community of people, that we know that, souls from the past that we go on lifetime and do this work together. But how did you experience your spiritual awakening? What was going on with you? What happened? How did you get to where you are?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I started having big questions. And the answers that I was getting, they weren't working for me anymore. And a lot of them started when I was in religion and when I started having children. And I had to understand, like, what is it that I believe in? What is it that I want to teach to my children? And I got to the point where I had this conundrum where I didn't understand, if God was love, then how can he cast me into eternal damnation? And like, that's the opposite of love. And that just, it just makes sense to me. And I took my kids out of CCD and I said, I don't know what I believe in yet. And I don't know what I can teach them. And whatever is going to be, it will unfold. And in 2008 and 2012, I started having what I call my knockdown experience. The recession came. Coupled with my husband losing his job. I had my own business, and marketing was like the first thing to get cut. And we went through a really difficult time where we lost everything. We lost our home, we lost our friends, we lost our retirement,
Really?
We lost our finances, we lost everything.
Wow.
And talk about a dynamic shift of turning your life upside down and realizing what's really important. Because you go through decades of your life where you think certain things are important. And then you have shifts, and that's the human experience. But this was really a big shift in understanding, like, who my friends were. What was love? What was it that I wanted for my future? My father also died. I saw him battle alcoholism, and I saw him lose his battle to alcoholism. And I saw him, die before my eyes. When my brother, my mother, and I were there, and we watched him cross over. And I said to myself, where did he go? Where did my father's spirit, where does his energy, where does the essence of him, where did that go? Because in front of me is a body. And I just kept having all these questions. And And then one thing led to another, where I went down a rabbit hole of going to the metaphysical section of the library and just consuming everything that was there.
That's where it starts. It does. I know that feeling. I've been there
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
I think that everyone that has been on our sort of journey can relate to that. And, you know, YouTube was a great resource for me because it fed me the algorithms, give me more and give me more. And so I started understanding that, you know, I am the creator of my reality, that my words create my reality, and words are powerful. And I started following Abraham Hicks and understanding that the law of attraction is a thing. It's a real thing. It's not just a movie that's exciting to watch. And in The Secret, you remember that movie that came out? I started understanding how to do that just by playing with the universe a little bit. And then I stopped saying the story of lack. I stopped saying what my existence was, which was my husband lost his job, we lost our retirement, marketing is cut, we have to leave our home. I started saying, I've kept my job, I've kept my business through a recession. Isn't that amazing? And we were able to move into this little house and carry our big house, you know, through the worst real estate market, like, you know, until I don't know when the next one's coming soon, but it was really difficult. We couldn't sell my house. And isn't it amazing? We're all in this little tiny house and I can walk my kids to school because we're so close. And like, I just kept saying positive things, and my bills are always taken care of, and speaking what I wanted to my reality to be. And I started seeing my life change through those words. And then, you know, when the universe sees that you're ready for the next little thing, it presents it to you and it puts it in front of you. Right. And then the right people start coming in, and so on.
Yeah. Well, I talk to a lot of people, and myself included. I think the universe pushes us into like that dark space because, like, you know what,
Yeah.
we have work for you, and you need to do the work that you were here to do,
Hmm.
and you're not going to get it done doing what you're doing. So
Yeah.
all hell breaks loose, right? And just life becomes disastrous, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then you find yourself into a place that's like, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't see this
Yeah.
coming, and
How did I get here?
I feel the
Yeah.
same way. I totally understand and can relate to that.
Yeah. Because you won't shift if you're comfortable. There's no shifting in that space. And ultimately, I lost my marriage. You know, I started realizing that I was seeing the world in Technicolor. I was seeing the world in a whole different way than my partner was. And my partner was still stuck in fear and not understanding what I understood. And as much as I tried to shift that, it just wasn't going to happen. And then I started understanding that we wanted different things. And then I started understanding that I couldn't live with fear choices. I had to push through to the opportunity for what lies on the other side of making a choice that's love and not fear. And so I could have stayed in a marriage that was unhappy and, you know, limited and had a cap on it. Or I could have said, you know what? And my knowing started popping in. I started hearing, this is done. This is done. You know, your contract's over. You've completed what you need. I started hearing things. That's when all my knowing started. And I ultimately had the strength to say, this isn't what I want for my future. And you know, I made a loving example of what that break of a marriage could be, and I just kept representing love and put the kids in a place above us, and you know, communicated and acted through love, and we got through that transition, and through that one choice of sitting in my self power, listening to my inner guidance, knowing that there was more than what I had in front of me. My whole entire life changed with that one decision, and I started, you know, doing energy, experiencing energy work, and going to see, you know, and learning about Reiki and all the things. The modalities started coming to me, and I wanted to start my healing journey because it was time for me to move into the next part of my work.
Yeah. So when you were starting to get the messages and the knowing, were you doing meditations? Were you like
Hmm.
practicing stillness? Is that when that started? Because, I'm
Yeah.
big on that. That's, I talk about that all the time, about being stillness, being awareness, being present, because that's when you can start tapping into that intuition and start hearing the the voices in your head,
Yes, the
but they're
downloads.
there, they're whispers. But yeah, so you were doing that kind of work too.
Yeah, I had a friend, who was actually my client, then she turned into a friend, who was actually going through the same journey as I was. She was reading the same books that I was reading. And she said, "You know what? I just started doing yoga. Have you ever done yoga?" And I said, "No." So I started doing yoga. And this was through the knockdown. And we jumped right into Bikram yoga. If you've ever done that, like that is a test of strength and patience, and it's like super hot in 90 minutes. But and then we started experiencing like what else do they offer at this yoga studio? And there was yoga nidra, which was meditation, and I started seeing like little lights in front of my eyes, and then I started getting imagery in my dream state, and I started hearing my dad, who passed over. He would come to me and tell me things, and I started having like more vivid dreams, and it just started with little nuggets that I kept on saying, "Oh, I want more. Oh, I want to experience more." And oh, what is this about? And then finding out more about it and having new experiences.
No, I love that you say that because I've taken some higher clairvoyance classes, and whenever we see something, like thank you, always give that thanks and be grateful for because I want more. I want to see
Yeah.
more. And
Hmm.
it really is fantastic. So that's amazing. You just like you have this gift within you that's just opening up. So, but it also started to delve into or lead you into creating spirit calling. So how did
Yeah.
that come?
That happened in through the course of events, that the healing journey that I had. Once I went to this Reiki share group. Someone said to me, "Go to this Reiki share group. It's at a yoga studio, and there's like 5 or 6 practitioners there. It's a 30-minute session. They work on you at the same time, and they clear your chakras." And I was like, "Well, this sounds cool. I want to do this." So I was the last person. There were like 5 people on mats waiting to go up on this table. And these women started working on me. And when they got to my heart center, I felt this welling coming out of my heart. And I just started howling and crying. And they broke my heart chakra, right? They just cleared it intensely. And I had no idea what happened. And this woman came right over to me and she said, "You're an empath, aren't you?" And I was like, "I don't know what an empath is." Like, it was the beginning of like, okay, what is an empath? And then I had to go find out what that was. And I kept doing that, doing an Akashic record release session, or doing a shamanic journey to uncover, some of and heal some of the trauma that I had in this life and in other lives. And I did that and as I was doing it, my clairsenses kept on waking up a little more and a little more and a little more, until one day I saw a video of a place called Rhythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. And there was a man, a video about him. His name is Gerald Powell. He was a hotelier, and he was addicted to sex, drugs, alcohol, gambling, like everything, you name it. And he had an experience with plant medicine, ayahuasca, and he healed all of his addictions, and he uncovered a molestation from his grandfather that led to his trauma and covering
Oh,
up,
wow.
with all the addictions. So he decided to come back to the States and create a healing center with his experience, which was his life's work, and now to create a place for other people to do that. And the moment I saw it, I knew I was going there. I didn't know how, I didn't know when. I just knew I was going there. And through the course of events and meeting the right person and saying yes to a certain experience, and like, it just happened. When the universe gives you these little things, you have to say yes to them. You have to say yes to them. That's your free will. You say yes to them. You say yes to them. I actually got invited to Rhythmia. There was a small group of people that were going, and one of them was an owner, and they shut the whole place down. And they were opening just to these 40 high conscious people who were already creating impact in the world and already doing spiritual work. And so Spirit placed me in this safe space where I could experience this class 1 hallucinogenic in another country by myself, right? With like a really good friend that I met, and then beautiful heart-based people. And at the end of that 7-day retreat, we did a breathwork class, and this white light came through my third eye, filled my whole body up. I heard crackle, crackle, crackle. My vibration rose, and I heard everything from this day forward will change. Your psychic abilities have been enhanced. And I lost my breath and I was crying, and I knew it was a moment that shifted everything. And that was November of 2019. I came back and COVID happened. And instead of putting the news on and sitting there absorbing all this negativity and getting caught up in that, I decided I still had the energy of ayahuasca in me, and I was still working through all of the experiences and these new skills that I had. And I started meditating every morning and calling in my guides and having all kinds of experiences with different entities, different frequencies, different beings, and light language, and all these things started happening. And I knew I had to sit with them every day. I knew I needed to do the work every day. And every day I kept continuing the work that I was doing with ayahuasca, healing trauma, raising my vibration. And then by, I don't know, it must have been a year later, suddenly I had this frequency pop into my head, and this spinning, and this experience happen. And that's when I started channeling my guides. And
That's
so,
awesome. Let's pick this up on the other side of the break. I do have to take a
okay.
break.
Okay.
I'm Bob Kozarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back with more with Pamela Downes right after this.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery, or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Bob Kozarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We're back with Pamela Downes, talking about ayahuasca. And, like we were talking on the break, that's something that I'm very interested in. But I wanted you to finish your story because that ties into, I think you're going to where that's how you started to get channeling and angelic messages. Yeah. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's because
So
of that journey.
Spinning going on.
Yep. That's when the guides came in. So that journey with ayahuasca opened me up, opened all my clairs up, like was the last bit of, and I'm still doing work on it today. But was the last bit of wow, getting my energy body ready, helping my vibration to rise. Because when you're channeling angelic beings, they live in a certain frequency. They don't live, they exist in a certain frequency, which is a certain vibration. We all as living beings have a vibration. So my vibration is at a place where they can lower theirs and we can meet so that information is able to be transferred to me. And without ayahuasca, without the courage to do it, without that experience, which was obviously my path, was my soul path. They put all of the right pieces in place for me to be able to go there. I had to say yes, though. I had to say yes when that opportunity came. I had to write the
Yeah.
check. I had to push through fear. Seriously, I had to do all of those things. And I tell everyone, you ask for these experiences. You say you want change. When that comes, then you got to step up and say yes, because you're given it. And so I did that. And because of that, that's that fear versus love again, that fear versus love again, knowing that there's something greater there. You don't know what that path is. You don't know what that vision is. You have to trust, right, that it's there in your best interest. And that was, I had no idea I was going to channel angelic beings. I had no idea I was going to create a portal for humanity. I had no idea I was going to become a spiritual leader. I still have to step into owning that title. I'm just like everyone else, but I'm helping people, which I love it. It's my highest, it's my best, the space that I thrive in. And it makes me feel like I'm in magic. It's just a beautiful, beautiful space. But yeah, I think it was March, right, when COVID happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly when the beings would come in. They were talking to me. I was getting used to all their frequencies, and there was a physicality about it because it comes into, in the beginning, it came in the back of my head, and it was hard, to get the energy in to make me be a free flowing, easy vessel. And I practiced, and I practiced, and I still do. But one night, my visions became much clearer. I started getting premonitions. I started hearing things in the middle of the night. I started seeing things. I started having all kinds of visions. And one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard spirit calling, spirit calling. And I got up and I wrote it down. And then in the morning, I bought the URL. I was like, it seems
Oh,
important. I'm
really?
going to
That
buy,
quickly,
yeah,
huh? Yeah.
I'm going to buy
Wow.
the domain. Yeah. And then I kept on doing the work with the guides, and I kept on meditating, and I kept on hearing, you are to build a portal for humanity. There's going to be a glass ceiling that breaks. Humanity is going to stand there and not know who and what they are, what their world is that they've believed in. They're going to need a safe place to land. They're going to need a safe place to land. And I was like, me? you want me to do that? Like, it felt like such a big calling. So that happened for about a year while I was still working with the guides. And a year later, I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw this little icon, these little wings fall down on an iPhone screen. And I got up and I sketched it. And then I woke up in the morning and it all opened up in my head. And I said, that's spirit calling. That's the portal. That's the logo. That's all of it. And I kind of fought back and forth with spirit because I was already merging an 18-year-old business into a new business with a new partner. I was already building something. I was already in the weeds with it. And I was like, I don't have time to do this. And I kept hearing, it's time to do it. It's time to do it. And so we launched it. I launched it in January of this year. It had a couple versions, and I, ultimately kept hearing to shift it this way and that way. And then the full version of what I've always seen it to be is now new. It's 6 months old, and it's a beautiful community. I hold it in such high regard. It's in my heart space because that story I just told you about me going down this path and gobbling up the breadcrumbs and going to the library and going on YouTube, I did it myself, with the exception of like one friend. I was alone. I didn't have anyone to discuss the bumps in the night and the visions with, and the I had experiences that were scary, and I had experiences that were, wonderful. That's all part of contrast and understanding it. It was a crash course in understanding frequencies and spirit. And one of the beautiful things about our community is that it's a safe place where you can talk about things that are happening to you, where you can share your experiences. You can't do that at the office. You can't do that at the dinner table. You can't.
No, people at the office kind of frown at that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. It's different now because there's more conversations around it happening. I'll go to a networking event and people like find out about me and they want to tell me everything because they want to talk about it, right? Because they can't. And so I really, I think it's a special place, and we're actually like a community we're like a family. We love each other. So it's amazing.
No, my Arhatic yoga community, same thing. It's a safe place because people can relate to actually what you're saying. They'll even like, oh, I went through this. I was purging. I was releasing all this stuff, and I was letting go. And they'll laugh at you. Like, yeah, good for you. Um, I mean, it's tough, but they're supportive because they go through it too, and you could just
Hmm.
understand, and then you could start talking about the clairvoyance, and you meet a lot of people with a lot of different types of gifts, and
Yeah.
it really is fantastic, and it really is a different world, right? The
Yeah,
way you see
it
the
is.
world changes.
Yeah.
It's no longer the same thing.
No,
So when
it's
you
totally
were with
different.
spirit calling, were they relentless with you? Like just
Yeah.
wasn't they weren't going to
They were
stop?
they were relentless. I remember the day I went, "Fine." I mean, I sat in my office and I went, "Fine. You send me the people, send me the money, send me it all." And I said, "I'm your humble servant. Like I will." Because like I said before when we started talking, I didn't know who I was walking around on planet Earth, one foot in front of the other, someone's daughter, someone's partner, someone's mother, Pamela, the graphic designer, the musician, all the things. But I'm so much more than that. I have come to this place so many times to teach people about their spirit, to try to help them and guide them to live with their spirit first, to create a better life, to understand their soul. And when you understand that, I'm like, yeah, I'll build the portal. Okay, I'm going to do the portal, right? What am I going to not do the portal? Of course, I'm going to do the portal. It's funny.
Yeah. Um, so with the spirit calling, who are the ideal members to come into the um,
To the
spirit calling?
community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that community. Are
Yeah.
they
It's,
people that just beginning to search, or people
yes.
that have been like on the path for a while, or how's your community set up?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I know that I am supposed to speak to the people who are just scratching the surface, who are just starting to have big questions, who are starting to see shifts in the world and not understand how these dots are not connecting, who are starting to have spiritual experiences and they want to know more. That's who is in our community. There's all different levels of people that are in our community. There's also a curated group of healers and practitioners that I put in the portal as a safe place for people to be able to work with them because I know them, I know their frequency, I know their work. I've personally worked with them and I feel confident because when I was out by myself, like running into a Reiki person here or like I told you, going here, I would never tell anyone to go work with 5 different Reiki people at the same time. Right? That experience was crazy. But it was necessary for me. Um it's very intentional and you know there's young people, there's older people, there's people from all over the world there, and people that are able to. I always say it's seekers and then teachers, seekers and teachers. So you come in and you're able to expand yourself. You're able to use the courses. You're able to come to the events. You're able to listen to the curated sound healings every month, and elevate your frequency and learn. Go to the resource section and watch the videos, read the books. There's always going to be someone who has either experienced what you're experiencing or can guide you or has been where you are to support you, and that's the beauty of it. So your answer is everyone. Basically it's everyone, but the new eyes that had just the cracks just started and they want more. This is a place to come because I just finished channeling a course that's going to be live probably the end of July that teaches people about vibration. I still have comments on YouTube where people are like, what is this new age stuff? We're talking about vibration still. And I'm like, yeah, we're talking about vibration because you clearly don't understand it or know about it, you know? And so the guides want people to understand through experiences in your life what these experiences feel like, because that is a vibration, that's a frequency, and how you're able to understand them, then that makes you experientially learn them so that you can draw in better ones. So you can't do that if you don't understand it. You are in the control of your life. And that's what they want people to understand.
Yeah, because we manifest to the level that we're vibing inside, right?
Yeah.
Our internal alchemy of our thoughts and our emotions and our words. That's what we're putting out, and that's what we're getting back. That's what we're
Hmm.
resonating with the universe. So the more that you're still, the more aware, and the more vision that you have, clarity of the future that you want. Then the universe starts to line that for you, like you've been experienced. But um,
Yes.
do you have a channeled message? Can you share with the audience how you
Sure.
would do a channeled message?
Yeah. So I channel in a couple different ways. I automatic write. So I don't know if anyone is who's watched or who's watching or will be watching has experienced like Bashar or Abraham Hicks,
I
or
know
Lee
Bashar.
Harris.
Yeah, I find
Yeah,
that very fascinating. Yeah,
I like him too. I think he's cool. So he closes his eyes and he speaks. So he moves his consciousness over, which is what I do. And the energy comes through and they speak through me. And then I also, and I'm learning to do that in public. I'm stepping into, I told you, I'm stepping into my soul's purpose. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I've been practicing and I did it with, I've done it with my community because it's a safe space. See, I'm on my spiritual path too. Um, but I close my eyes most usually for the community, and they come right in, and I type like a mad woman and type these beautiful messages for our community. And I have one of those that I can share. I'd love to share it. And the one that I think I channeled it on Tuesday. It's absolutely beautiful. So may I read it?
sure, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Regular time within nature. Regular time within the sounds of the birds, the wind, the stars, and the little things that encapsulate natural wonder are what is needed now. Watch a ladybug walk upon a leaf and wonder how it survives the winds that surround it. Look upon the bird that floats in the sky and wonder how fast it travels and with such ease. How does it know where it is going? How does it know it is time to migrate to warmer weather? It is universally connected to all that is. It has the divine intelligence running through its being. It does not need to think, ponder, wonder, or worry. It just knows. Just as your body knows to heal itself, just as your lungs know to pull breath that is rich with oxygen into your body for you to have life, just as your eyes see and focus on subjects easily without your command. You are created perfectly, and you are a part of the universal thread of life, the omnipotent Om, the wonder of life, the sacred space that love and source energy live within. You are not calculated and sent to the earth plane with disgust or negativity that is cast upon you from the systems that were created for your world. You are born perfectly, without tarnish, and elevated in the highest form of humankind when you evolve into a human being. You are source energy that is calculated with cells and an energy system, nervous system, and brain that fires freely. You are a smile that ignites, that lights up a room or a person's spirit. You are a star that shoots across the sky. You are the measure of music that rings so beautifully that it makes your skin fill with fever and lift the hairs upon your body. You are music inside of your being and inside of your cells. You are magnificent beings. Now walk through your days knowing that you are perfect and worthy of a beautiful life and beautiful experiences. Draw them to you, ask for them, and they will appear. You are magnificent and knowing in all ways that are love.
That's beautiful,
Mic
and
drop. It's so beautiful.
it is beautiful, and it really resonates with me too because I've been having this pull to get back into nature, and so strong. So the last couple of weeks, I packed up my place, and I'm in an RV, and I'm in nature, and I'm loving it. I am telling you, I'm just really kind of getting back in touch with myself. I didn't realize how much um, decompression that I still needed to do.
Yeah.
Just being out in the world and just to be able to be, and it's just like the stillness and the awareness and just the being is what I'm experiencing, which is really
Yeah.
quite awesome, you know?
Yeah. And they want you to, Bob, they want you to be in nature because of exactly that. The energy of nature, it's so soothing. It eases your body. And when you take the time to break from technology and conversations, all the things, traffic, noise, all of it, it's occupying your senses, it's occupying your awareness, it's occupying everything. When you get out in nature, they're saying, look at the bird, look at the bit, like look at these small wonders that we forget about. We forget about how miraculous they are. You know, a baby
Yeah,
comes into the world, we just think it's normal. It's a miracle every single time.
it is.
Hmm.
Absolutely. But it is time to take another short commercial break. I'm your
Okay.
host, Bob Kozarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be back with Pamela right after this.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Bob Kozarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Back with Pamela Downesî, founder of Spirit Calling. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You wanted to talk a little more about how you use ayahuasca and a little bit about your premonitions. Can you share a little bit more on that? That's a very fascinating topic to me.
Yeah,
And
sure.
how you work with ayahuasca. I just thought it was an experience. I didn't know that you can work with it.
No. It was an experience over 1 week. I haven't done it since. I'll be very clear about that. I'm also having the call to go back. She calls you. So she's an energy. She's a very sacred, intentional, loving grandmother. They call her Grandmother Ayahuasca. And so when you receive the call, you start getting the little knowings, you start getting the little pokes, you start seeing the little breadcrumb, that's the breadcrumbs that are being placed in front of you. And, if you have a desire and you're feeling the call, it's very sacred. There's lots of ways to experience it. There's lots of people that are doing pop-up experiences it's not sacred. I know someone actually I met a couple of weeks ago when I was in Boulder, Colorado, who did it and had a terrible experience because it's not a drug, it's medicine. It's indigenous, sacred. It's a ritual. I mean, these species of plants, there's like a million species of plants in the jungle. It's the stem of one, it's the root of one, and the leaf of another. Like, how did
Oh, wow.
Right. Okay. So then when it's planted, when it's found, it's sacred. There's prayers, there's song that are done. It's generational. So it was taught to that shaman from the shaman before, and so on. And they say prayers and they thank the plants. And when they're making this tea, it's a stew that they cook for hours and hours, and they sing when they do it. And because they know how sacred and how beautiful it is, because they know the healing that's on the other side of it. And they know what the person who's ingesting it is going to experience. They know the whole journey of it. They know how it connects you to all that is. We already are connected to all that is, but it enables you, and the veil is pulled away, and you're able to have
thins the veil a little bit.
Correct. So with it, I was scared. I was scared, but like I said, like making the choice to leave my marriage, I knew I had to do it. I knew that there was something on the other. I didn't know it was me being a trans channel, but I knew there was something calling me to do it. And with the people that I was with, they were absolutely beautiful. There was a woman, her name was Morningstar. She was almost like a mother to me. And you had to go and you had to have eaten vegan. You had to be alcohol and drug free. If you were on some sort of a medication, it had to be cleared first. You had to, really set intentions about like what it was that you were going there for. Not that you were in control of it, but that you understood, because you're out of control big time. And you are letting go. And, you had to have an understanding that you were there for certain reasons. And you go there and you're eating vegan the whole entire time. Your vibration is already heightened because you're around a jungle nature, right? And you're eating vegan, alcohol, all the things that make your frequency lower. And they put on intentional music. The space is sacred. There's no technology in the space. The shamans that are doing it they're masters at doing it. They all drink it. So whoever's there to serve the people, they're drinking a little bit of it too, so that they can be in the energy of ayahuasca. And so I'm a control freak. I was having a control freak problem. I had a little notebook. I had a pen. I had my crystals. Like I was going to control it. Right. And so I had to continue to each night go on this journey of like, I would fight it. I would ingest it, and then I would fight it and be like, I'm scared. And she was very gentle with me. She showed me imagery of like loving mother energy things, but I did a lot of healing. I went and did generational healing with my daughters. I did healing with my father. This information just came to me, and all at the same time. And I was able to unpack moments of my life, this lifetime with my father. And they told me something about my father, and I went, oh my God, that makes sense. And then I started seeing all the memories of why that made sense. And there was clearing that happened. I took energy from my one daughter that had gone from me in my DNA, in my stories, in my energy, transferred to her. I took it back. And I did it another night with my other daughter in regards to another experience. It was unbelievable, Bob. So I would tell anyone who's thinking about doing it to do your research and really know what you're getting involved in. And you want to be in a sacred space that's extremely respectful, because
I wouldn't do it any other way. I mean, I want
beautiful.
somebody who really knows what they're doing. And, I love ritual. I'm a ritual type of guy. So I love the sound of the whole thing. It's really appealing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear the music sometimes from when I was there, and it pulls me. Like, I feel like, oh my gosh, I want to go back there. And so she comes when she's ready, she comes, and she'll start coming into experiences. She'll start showing up. So you'll know when it's time. But some of the premonitions and things that I experienced in the beginning, I was getting so much information. I almost didn't believe it, because it was, I experienced Ra. I experienced Thoth. I experienced extraterrestrial beings. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and there would be 3 little beings by my bed transferring energy into me. I was also experiencing like different energies that were on the earth plane, that were like deceased people who hadn't crossed over, and they would bang on my bed and like shake me in the night. I found out later there was an open portal above my bed. So I had this energy worker come and clear it. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense, But
a little disconcerting at times, but
yeah.
right?
but I had to learn that. Like, it obviously happened for a reason. And some of the visions that I had, one vision that I had was I woke up and I was witnessing myself, witnessing alien ships. And we were shooting at the alien ships. They were not shooting at us. And I witnessed myself watching it. I have a drawing of it. And I wasn't scared. I had no fear. I knew that it was not real. I knew it was a fake alien attack. And so if that happens one day, that there were planned ships that were from this world that are made to scare people, that's what I saw. And I have a drawing of it. And I also have seen a giant awareness campaign in the sky, the sky filled with thousands of ships from other worlds, just showing us that they're there, not attacking us, benevolent beings that are just saying, we're here. You know, if we ever wanted to hurt you, we could. We're not. Like, we're you, you are us. We are all out here together sharing this space. You're not here by yourselves. You know? Yeah.
Well, yeah, the vastness of the universe, it would be so arrogant of us to think that it's only us. You know,
Yeah.
we're like we're dust, really, in the
We
grand
are.
scheme of things. We are just, you know, but
Yeah.
if you put us like vibrational, universal, energetic beings, then we fall into the place of the universe, more expansive, and that makes sense. But, you know,
It does. Yeah.
yeah,
And then I've had premonitions of, they've told me in 2020 there was going to be a war. They told me that there was going to be weapons of mass destruction. They told me that there would be food chain disruptions. I'm trying to remember all the things. The stock market would shift. They told me that there was going to be a giant outage, power outage, and there was going to be a change in our universal currency, that we would have one currency, a digital currency that was all encompassing. You know, lots of things like that, which, you know, I don't know the timing around all of that, but I do know that I've heard of that. So I don't know if that's part of the 2030 agenda or the other one that's the larger agenda. But you know, I mean, some of these things are happening already. We are a digital world, and but it's going to be one frequency of currency is what they said. And there's going to be, you know, I tell my community, and I have in the past, it doesn't hurt you to not scared, be prepared. So if you have water, have some, you know, non-perishable, long storage food prepared in your home. Be prepared, not scared. There's no reason to be scared. You got to live with this. We live with it anyway. So, you know, I do that. And I don't think, you know, I think 2020 showed everyone that anything can happen at any time. And it's not as scared, it's prepared. That's all I can say.
yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely right. I think about that from time to time. I'm not very good on my food stores. You know, I should have learned that from year 2000, Y2K, when everybody was freaking out. Right. I'm sure a lot of people still have that stuff in their basements, but I do not. I was not one of those. But
Theirs are
let's
expiring now soon.
exactly. So let's switch gears a little bit. You
Mm-hmm.
got a new show coming out, right? So tell us
Yeah.
about your new show on the
Uh,
Ethereal Network. You said.
yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So there's a new spiritual TV network called Ethereal, ETHEREAL Network TV, etherealtv.net, I'm sorry. And there's a whole group of energy workers, shamans, people who are working in the spiritual space that are leading shows, that are sharing their skills and teaching. And I have a show called Divine Wisdom, and it's channel messages from the Great Council of Light. So every week I will be sharing messages from the council. And, you know, we do a little meditation. We get into a space of receivership. We answer questions from viewers. You know, I'm going to be channeling live. That's my goal in the next 2 months, is to be actually channeling live. I also know from the premonitions that I've had that I will be giving updates of what's happening in the world when that comes. So I tell everyone that if you're looking for information and you're sitting in a space of wanting to know what's going on, that's where you're going to be able to find it. And then also I can't wait to be able to answer questions, tap into people's guides. and be able to answer their deepest questions and things that they want to know about themselves. So it's an awesome space. They're dropping batches of different shows right now. So I have a channel called Spirit Calling, and my first show is Divine Wisdom. Yeah.
When is that?
It's launching right now. So I'm hoping my show will probably be out by the first week of July.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Bob, you have to
Did
check
you
my
bring
show
on?
out.
I'm sorry. Say
You
again?
got to check my show out, Bob.
Oh, I definitely will. Hey, if you ever bring on guests, I'd be happy to come on. Or now, when you're doing readings for, we only got a minute to go.
Okay.
I was going to ask you about like maybe a reading for me, for my guides, but I mean, I'm pretty in tune to them. But
I can
I do want to
certainly
put
do
up,
that. Hmm.
but we only got a minute, so I want to put up your contact information for your website, which is a wonderful website. It's full of offerings. It'll take you a while to go through it, but it's spirit-calling.com. And then we also have your social medias. Most of them, the YouTube, the Facebook, TikTok is at Spirit Calling, Live the Call, and then Instagram at Spirit_Calling. Um, that way people can track you and follow you on their favorite platforms. So congratulations with everything. I am so happy that you were here. It's been a pleasure to see you and speak with you, and I'm sure we'll be talking. I'll be checking out your show. So keep in touch, and I'll be checking out your community as well. So I love what you're doing. It's very inspiring, and it's you are a force for good. And it's a beautiful thing to have you on this planet at this point in time. So thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. It was great.
All right. All right, great. Thank you so much. So it is time to take another break. I am Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I want to extend my thanks to Pamela for being on the show today. Her insights into her spiritual healing and her journey developing into the spirit calling, it truly resonated with me and hopefully with you, the audience. Her explanations of channel messages and sharing a channel message was quite beautiful. She has just a deep sense of inspiration and understanding, and I'm just so grateful for the time that she took to be here today. Looking forward to her new show on the Ethereal Network. But her passion and dedication to helping others on their spiritual journey, it's truly admirable. So once again, thank you, Pamela, for sharing your wisdom and light with us. Next week, my guest is Jay Harris. Jay is a young man I met a month or so ago, and we became instant friends. And I chuckled. Jay's a young black man, age 32. I'm an old white guy, age 60, but we became instant friends. So it just goes to show you can't pay attention to all the race baiters out there. But he is a very spiritual guy. And the night we met, we were hanging out at the pool, and we just started talking, and we talked for a couple hours and had a great time. So I invited him to be on the show just to talk and talk about spirituality. He's not a healer. He's just a guy, hardworking guy, but he has that spiritual essence in him, and it just really comes out and it shines. So I'm excited. He's going to be on with me next week to talk. He's super excited to be here. So I'm really looking forward to that. He's just a great guy, and I just have a lot of fun talking to him. And I also want to mention that I have been redoing my website. It's still in the process, but you can still book a discovery call with me to talk about coaching or healing. I do not let first-time clients book coaching or book a coaching session with me directly on the website. We need to have a conversation with one another in order to make sure that we're a good fit. But you can book a healing direct from my website without a discovery call. But if you do go to the site, it is in process. I've been changing my platform change to a new platform. So anybody who's been through that and worked through changing websites, changing platforms, understand that it's a tedious process. So if you see any errors, feel free to reach out and let me know. And you can follow me on my social media. I think we have all the links at Self-Help Coaching LLC. You can see there, easy enough to find. But I am going to be coming out with a course for sale on stillness, the Stillness Success Blueprint. We talk about stillness, tapping into your intuition, aligning with the universe. So it's going to be a course on that, and it's similar to what I would do in my coaching sessions, but I want to make it more available at a pretty reasonable rate for people that are interested, because a lot of people don't even know how to become still. People don't know, like Pamela was talking about earlier, like, who am I? I'm a dad, I'm a mom, I'm a brother, I'm a sister, I'm a father, I'm a worker bee. But people lose track of who they really are. They don't, where's the fun person? Where's the Bobby Bahama guy? Where's the, the creativity? Where's the fun in your life? The creative outlets. There's more to you than just what you're doing day to day. But we need to align with ourselves. And when we align with ourselves and quiet down, like Pamela's experience, she's just found her soul purposes. She's off and running, and she's changing lives and helping so many people in the process. And it's a gift and it's a blessing. And it could be scary at times. Like, she's got her fears and she's working through her fears. I've worked through my fears. I mean, if you went back to episode 1 to do this show, there was a great deal of fear in me to come on and talk to y'all on a show like this. So, but hopefully it's helping, reaching people, and with the amount of quality guests that I have, hopefully they're inspiring you. And so whatever way you want to go, we're just trying to send our light out there, and for people to say, yeah, that resonates with me. I like this person. So anything we could do to help shed the light out there and put the light on different modalities or whatnot. And that's what we're here to do. And so that's what I got in the works. So I'm looking again to talking with Jay next week. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for tuning in. And stay curious, stay inspired. And until next time, keep living your passion. See you next week. Namaste, everyone.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarik. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m.